The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
That's right. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain, and I have one of my favorite, actually, I think it's safe to say my favorite guest co-host in the whole entire world, even though I do have 7 children. But his name's Tristan, and he is my oldest son. Hey, what's up?
Heyo.
Holla!
Holla.
Nice. So this is my new favorite part. This is the first episode of Church Radio. And me and my good buddy Tristan here, we'll be leading the way. But this would not be a Common Good production if I did not give grace to a very loving Father that makes it possible for us to be here. And I like to usually thank him with the Lord's Prayer, so let's go ahead and try that. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I never say that one at our church, at our dinner table, huh?
No, you do not.
Yeah, we just kind of like just freestyle flow our prayers.
Just basically what's on your mind, yeah.
Yeah, which is, I mean, sometimes, every now and again I do that here, but it's just kind of like it's been the tradition so many years now that I've done that one, so. But this segment of Church Radio is going to be, it's going to be Pastor John's verse of the week. And this week I'm going to have Tristan read it. Hopefully he'll be here with us here regularly. But this week I'm going to have him read it for us to kind of share and have a Bible study together. And again, I invite you guys to call in 520-790-2040. We're live here in the studio, in the Bustos Media Studio. You can call us, be part of the conversation. The number again, 790-2040. But first, I'm going to have Tristan read Pastor John's verse of the week.
All right. While he was still
Actually, wait 1 second. Before you read that, we have to say what it is. It's
Okay.
Matthew 25, starting at verse 47 until the end of Matthew 25.
Yes. All right. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived with him. It was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. The one I kiss is the man, arrest him. Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi."
Rabbi. I like the way you said it, though.
And kissed him. Jesus replied, "Do what you came for, friend." Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him. For all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?
Yeah. So I almost feel like I want you in your head to read it again. I'll talk a little bit so that way you can kind of process it. But just like we would do at the dinner table, I want you to go first and tell me what are your thoughts of what you think it's saying, and then I'll give my 2 cents, and we'll kind of have our usual conversation like we would at the dinner table. Because I don't know, I mean, I'm sure in some capacity we've talked about this story where, Jesus had 12 homies that hung out with him everywhere. He went and collected them ostensibly. That God told him, "Hey, find these guys," but one of them pretty much sold him out. For not for very much either, but he sold him out. And this is kind of the explaining of what that looked like in practice and all in all, how Jesus even handled it. You know,
Uh-huh.
because you'd imagine you'd be pretty mad if someone sold you out. So, but you give me your take. I don't want to give you too much goodies.
So now it says now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. That's his friend betraying him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's whenever he stabs him in the back. And then it says that he's saying the one I kiss is the man, arrest him.
Mm-hmm.
So his friend went out and told like the cops,
the Roman army.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And going out, and then it says going out once to Jesus. Jesus said, "Greetings, Rabbi." Who's that guy?
Rabbi. He's pretty much talking to Jesus. He's saying like he's giving him the signal like, hey, this is the guy.
Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. And then he just let him get his sword out and chop his ear off.
Well, and then but after that, Jesus says, like, don't, no need.
Uh-huh.
Tells his homie, and the kids terms. I got my son, so I'm sorry, I'm using the homie terms. He tells his friend like, hey, no need.
Uh-huh.
No need. If my father really wanted this not to go down this way, there'd be like a billion angels, an army of angels down here that would, make it so these guys can't do what they're doing. But this is the way it's supposed to play out. So, don't fight back. Just go with it. And particularly like to point to what we're saying in regards to, this is a guy that, he been through all these journeys, all these sacrifices, all these kind of this turmoil with, and then ends up being the guy who lets the ostensibly the enemy in that capacity know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean? And usually when we're talking about this at the dinner table, I always ask you, how would you apply this to your life? And how do you feel this has relevance?
I feel like if I were to apply this to my real life, I don't really have anything to like, I guess, I don't have a real life example of it from my experience. Like I don't have a friend that like betrayed me or like went snitched on me or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it would be like that where like one of my friends in my friend group would have betrayed me. Like maybe we're like out doing something and like told my mom or something. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's what a real life example would it be of.
It's interesting that you say that, because when I was thinking about it as you were talking, I know you've had situations with girlfriends.
Mhm.
Even though you're 16, you've had a couple girlfriends in your life, and they've definitely done some stuff that I'm guessing at the time you would have never ever
That's
guessed
true.
they could ever do, huh?
That's true. I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Yeah. And funny enough, I mean, thankfully, just to your character, and this is kind of the part with this verse that kind of speaks to me most, is stuff's going to happen to us. I mean, that is inevitable. I'm
Mhm.
going to, within this week, I'm sure I'm going to stub my toe, or I'm going to, someone's going to say a slight word, or something's going to happen that I'm not going to like.
Mhm.
But how I react to it, that is what is most important. And with you, how you react to things is usually pretty good. Definitely in those situations, pretty good. But here, looking at, the ultimate blueprint, the ultimate architect of like this, okay, this is how you behave no matter what is going on or who is looking. He first tells his buddy who's going to sell him down the river, I know what you're going to do. Go ahead and do it.
Mhm.
And then his other buddy who wants to protect him with his whole life, willing to like cut off the ear of one of the head soldiers of this whole army, he tells him, no, man, don't do that. Don't put yourself in danger over this,
Mhm.
because this is how it's supposed to go down. So it's that kind of really speaks to me in this time in general, just as we all have to deal with things and have to traverse, perspective enemies, which I hate to even use that term, because none of us really have any enemies. Like, we're all trying to just exist on this planet and try to make it work and put food on the table and live and exist and share love with people. So definitely using this model of, you know, what Jesus teaches us, whether it's in this situation, in many situation, it definitely speaks to me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about now, where his friend did something crazy to try to protect him, and then Jesus's reaction to that was like super like calm and collected, which I feel like I wouldn't react that way. I feel like I'd react a different way, which shows like how like perfect Jesus really was, and shows what kind of a person he was. And yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's good. I was letting it marinate there a little bit though, but yeah. And again, we're gonna invite you guys all. Call in 520-790-2040. This is Church Radio, the first episode. You expect a lot of this, definitely. 1:30 every single week, where we'll share with you, you know, our thoughts and on many amazing verses that in one of our favorite books, if not our favorite book, and then kind of get your opinion. And then on the second hour, our second part of the show, we're going to be talking with Tristan today about, you know, things that pertain to someone his age. I know not too often do you guys out there in the radio world get access to kind of a teenage mind, what concerns them, what's important to them, and, you know, what makes them tick and what's going on in their world. So definitely we ask that you stick around. This is the Common Good Media Block. This is the Church Radio, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McClain, here with my son Tristy. He's also known as Tristy on YouTube, if you want to check out his music. Proud to say he put out his first album when he was 14 years old. So talented kid. He's not only a charismatic radio voice that will likely try to get rid of me and take my job, but you're going to have to work hard. Just sleep. Never sleep when you're dead. So we'll be right after the break. Want to thank our sponsors: Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Gap Ministries, Seton Photography, JDB Media, Center for Self-Care, We Care Tucson, Action Print and Copy, 100 Plus Guys Who Give, Sonoran Senior Solution, Crossroads Coaching, Desert Sunset Realty, Synergistic Self, White Stallion Ranch, Bukowski Law Firm, Awakening Minds, Coyote Dental, Mark McMahon Photography, and we'll be right back. Hello. Welcome to the Common Good Radio Show. This part, the Church Radio, the first ever episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the first little bit. Definitely, if you want to call and talk with us, 520-790-2040. I'm Pastor John McClain here with my son Tristan. Common Good Radio Show brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Go to veteranrescuemission.org to support it. Veteran Rescue Mission, a homeless veteran transition program that I have the blessing and calling to oversee, to help connect now over 400 veterans with housing. So certainly go to veteranrescuemission.org to find out more about that, as well as to find more about the Common Good Media Group and the Common Good Radio Show. Hello, Tristan. Hey. So this portion of the show, we wanted to give you guys an insight into your grandkids, into your kids and your nephews, into the minds of the teenage peoples that you have in your life that you don't really understand whatsoever. I really don't understand these teenage peoples that I have in my life, but through conversations with them, I get a better understanding, particularly what makes them tick. And I love, particularly in my relationship with you, because you are easily one of the most like me of all of your siblings. It just brings me like in a time portal back to being your age. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was your age, something that was just like, it was the end all be all of like status and of what like I cared about and thought about, and kind of a lot of my energy and time went into getting that, keeping that, maintaining that, and then realizing I wanted a better version of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll kind of we'll set the foundation by saying, one, that is your first car, which, I mean, like many things you do, you make me super proud, and proudly you purchased your own first car, with one, money you had saved up, and then you've been able to maintain that car because you work at a fast food restaurant that I won't give credit because they're not our sponsors, but yeah, so you maintain that car. So I guess before we even get that far in, let's tell the story about how you even got the car in the first place, and then what your thinking was, and okay, how does this even work?
So, I got the car from my uncle because he knew someone up in like Globe, and he was selling this 2000 Honda Civic EX model, and it's a little bit like it was only for $1,200, so it was like
so it was great.
It was
the
best car.
It was like a Ferrari, brand new Ferrari.
Yeah, brand new Ferrari, basically.
Okay, good. Well, we painted the picture in our minds perfectly.
You see the red Ferrari in your mind?
I see it.
Okay, so I go up to Globe to go grab that,
Uh-huh.
and then it was only $1,200. I gave it all cash, all up front, and then I drove it back, and it actually runs pretty well. It actually runs pretty good. But the paint on it's a little bit scratched, but that's pretty easy fix if I wanted to fix it.
Mhm.
But
yeah, you really haven't had too many issues with it. I mean, you got to like fix little tinker stuff here and there.
yeah,
But yeah, it's been a good little running car
Yeah.
for you.
and Hondas in general are pretty reliable cars that
Mhm.
can last probably. My car could probably go to 500,000 miles if I really wanted it to.
I want to watch. I want to see you put 500,000 miles.
You want
on
to see it?
I want
You
to
wanna see it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep this car
Keep
for
your whole entire
my
life.
whole life
Absolutely.
to see
You
it.
just drive around
Yeah.
the continental United States.
And you have to watch me. You have to
I'll be there.
be in my
I'll
car
be with,
with
you.
me.
Yeah, or I'll just give you a camera and you can just video it.
If you were with me, that'd be cooler though.
That would be much cool.
That'd be
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
for sure. So you got the car, and then so what were you thinking in regards to actually like? Because I know up to this point, whether it was me or your mom, we've been
Mhm.
telling you about how the maintenance of it and the costs related to
Uh-huh.
it. So how does a 16-year-old even process that information?
At first it's like, oh my gosh, I got a first car, and I get to drive around everywhere, and I get to do all these cool things with my friends. But it's like, it's not as cool as you think it really is. Like it's cool. You get a car. It's really cool. But you still have to pay gas. You still have to pay insurance. You're still under 18. You can't do everything.
Mm.
And like my mom could tell me, no, you're not gonna drive to New Mexico tomorrow because
Mhm.
I'm still 16. So
Yeah.
it's
And you'd be like, Mom, why can't I drive to New Mexico or in Mexico?
New Mexico.
Oh, so the
both,
new
maybe
one.
both. Yeah,
And the
new,
old one. The new one and the old one. Nice.
Yeah,
That'd be a nice trip.
taste of both worlds.
Gotta check them out. So
Mhm.
like try to take the old style and then check the new style, see how they compare.
See how.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
hope
think we
for the
got
new one.
sidetracked a
But
little bit.
just a
Yeah,
little
for
bit,
sure.
just a little bit.
So you figured out you got to pay all this stuff, and then what was the next step to make that happen?
So then I got the job at where I work currently,
Mhm.
and
As a
That-
stockbroker,
as a stockbroker,
Yeah,
making millions of dollars a
millions
year.
of big money dollars.
Yeah,
Fast food at the fast food
at the
stockbroking.
fast food stockbroking I sell,
Yeah,
and then
it's very good.
but the insurance it basically covers everything, but I have to be really intentional with what I have to use my money with, because I don't make a whole bunch of money right now. So
Mhm.
it's definitely I have to, because before I started driving it, I had to make a list of how much I made
Mm.
a month,
Mhm.
and then I had to see how much gas it would take. So I looked up how much does a Honda Civic, what is the gas mileage on
Mhm.
my car,
Yeah.
and I just calculated it. So I made sure that I had $60, around $80 that month
Mhm.
for gas, and then like around 120, I'm pretty sure my insurance is, and then I had some extra, and then some for savings as well.
Nice.
So it's like I barely had enough for my own, like if I wanted to get like some candy or something.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ba-
So you
ba-
just stopped eating candy altogether.
So I had
though.
to stop eating
Yeah.
in
You
general.
stopped your candy addiction. Sorry,
Mhm.
bud. That was good. It's good that you were able to kick that, though. I know it was hard.
Yeah, my teeth are really happy right now.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So so now you got the job. You're paying your bills. You got even a little extra money. Get some bubble gum every now, like
Mhm.
just every now. You
Mhm.
got to budget out the bubble gum. Now where's your mind at?
New car.
You want a
Right?
new car? Okay, tell me about it.
I've just been really trying to put as much into savings as I could without over budgeting myself, because right now I'm looking to get a Miata, because
Okay.
those are really cheap, reliable little things that,
Mhm.
because before I was thinking about getting a BMW, but if I wanted to get a BMW, it was definitely going to be a trashed one that would definitely need a little bit of work on it.
Mhm.
But I found out that BMW parts are so expensive, so expensive. So I settled on not doing that at all.
Well, something I remember, particularly around car, and it's funny, like whether it's your first car or your first job, both pretty much my same first, almost similar year too of your car.
Mm-hmm.
It was a slow grind to kind of get to that next level. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't like, definitely once I was at the point where you're at now, where I was like, okay, got a job, my bills are paid, I can save up a little money every single month. I saw, okay, this is going to be the long game to get to my version of the Mazda Miata at the time, which I want to think is either a Lexus or a BMW as well.
Oh, really?
I'm sure. You know, that's pretty common for your
Mhm.
age. But the other thing I want to circle on, we got probably about a minute and a half, so we'll jump out of here. Just how important it was in relation to the other kids in your school. And just like, I remember, even though I didn't have the nicest Honda, it was decent. The fact that I was driving and other people weren't, there was a lot to that.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of kids that even are jealous of my car, even if me getting this trashy old Honda Civic, people still like are jealous of me, even
Mhm.
though I have this car. And there's people with not like Teslas driving to school,
Mm-hmm.
driving themselves to school, not even on the
I know,
steering
they're just
wheel.
sitting there taking a
They're
nap.
taking a nap. But it's definitely even with the car I have right now, it's definitely a blessing. I'm definitely glad to have this car that I have now.
Nice. That's cool. And then I guess as we jump out of here, how long do you think it'll be till you get your next car, and what are you going to do to achieve it?
I'm hoping by the end of this year, hopefully. That's one of my goals, to get a new car this year. Even if it's like a crappy one, I want to get a new one this year. And I want to get this, to achieve that, I want to get this pool business started up. And that's really it.
Awesome. Well, this has been your very first episode of Church Radio on the Common Good blog, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McLean, here with my son Tristan, who I'm guessing is going to be a regular on the show. He seemed to have a pretty decent time. What do you think?
Yeah, it was
Just
fun.
chill. Yeah, and once again, we want to thank our sponsors: Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Gap Ministries, Seton Photography, JDB Media, Center for Self-Care, We Care Tucson, Action Print and Copy, 100 Plus Guys Who Give, Sonoran Senior Solutions, Crossroads Coaching, Desert Sunset Realty, Synergistic Self, White Stallion Ranch, Bukowski Law Firm, Awakening Minds, Coyote Dental, Mark McMahon Photography, The Guys Next Door Radio Show, and Always Faithful Home Inspection. We'll have all that and more after this break.